everyone, it's Anthony back with another video on looking both ways. Single and placing. Hi! I hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Hi! Today we are doing a vlog. We are taking the boy, Apollo, to the you-know-what for a you-know-what. And, oh, it is... I know it's hot everywhere, but it is hot today. It is hot today. He's got the AC going back there. I turn off, like, all of the front vents. That way... Well, I leave one on for myself, but the rest of it gets pumped through to the back. And so he always sticks his face in it. But it is hot today. I should have put up the little visor things, but that's okay. Yeah, I hope you're all doing well. We're doing a vlog. We're gonna go take him to get some exercise. I brought tons of water. I wanted to wait till it cooled down, but it's just staying hot for longer these days. And so I just have to do it. I just have to get him going, get him some exercise. But we're gonna go up to Boulder and give him a little bit of a walk. I don't know how long we'll go. I'm gonna monitor his heat. I've got tons of water. I've got, like, I think it's a 3-liter thing of water in my backpack. I've got some TREATS for him. And I'll probably keep him on the leash, that way he doesn't go like sprinting and really exert himself like crazy. Slow and steady wins the race today. So we're gonna go and do that. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. It's been quite a while since I've at least... No, it's not been a while since I've filmed, but it's been a while since I've filmed something that I intend on posting. I guess that's the best way to describe it. But yeah, I figured on the drive up I could talk a little bit about life stuff, keep you all, or give you everyone an update on how things are going with me. They're going well. Life is busy right now, a lot going on, a lot of just little stressors here and there, so it's just been kind of keeping me from being super engaged on social media. I'm trying, but it's been a week for sure. So last time that I did I think I recorded a vlog was, oh geez, I don't even know. I guess it was when we went to Elitch Gardens, so not this past weekend, but the weekend prior, is the last time that I filmed a vlog that ended up going up, at least. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I guess, you know, on the way up to Boulder, we can just do a little life update. So, yeah, did that. And then work last week, because it's just been a little wild. It's getting slightly better in terms of, like, just like I guess not even the volume, but it's not as taxing, but there's still just as much work, I guess. And I've been trying not to stress about it and just kind of embracing it and trying to crank through stuff as best I can. So it just leaves me pretty drained at the end of the day. I just want to kind of relax and hang out, and we've just been doing a lot more outdoor stuff with friends, you know, hanging out in the backyard or going to do this and that throughout the week. So it's just left me with little time to even think about content creation. I've just been kind of work, try to decompress, go to bed, and that's really about it. So yeah, but it's going okay. We're at a point this week where a lot of our, knock on wood, I shouldn't even say it, but I have less new recruitments. It's just fussing with what I currently have on my plate. So creating offers and getting background checks done and all of that stuff. So that's kind of the mode that I'm in with a lot of candidates, or a lot of potential new hires, without so much new, but I hate to say it, because the one time I say it, I'm gonna wake up in the morning with like 6 new ones. So there are a lot of cops out here. Holy moly. But yeah, fingers crossed that I can close out a lot of what I have before the bucket fills up again, because that's when I get kind of a reprieve, but who knows. Either way, it's okay. I'll be able to manage and handle it. Like I said, it's just, how much time that takes is all. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on at work. With the heat picking up this past week, we've been doing a lot more shorter walks or late night walks. So just less time to do extracurriculars. Like I said, just kind of hanging out with friends is really what I've been doing, and staying inside with the AC running or the swamp cooler running, and just hoping that it cools off. It's a little bit cooler I shouldn't say that. It's 97 degrees, which is a few degrees cooler than it was yesterday around this time. And we do have some clouds that are kind of helping us out. We may even get some rain later on this evening, which will be nice. It went from like rainy, gloomy, and relatively cool to like really hot, and I'm hoping we get a little bit of a bounce back to the gloomy rain weather for a little bit. But for it being this late in the season, this mid-July, these 3-digit temperatures, or pushing these 3-digit temperatures, has happened a little bit later than it normally does, but it hit quick. It happened really fast. So yeah, we're just gonna go and try to get some exercise while remaining hydrated and cool. But the poor boy, he's just been doing a lot of backyard playing, a lot of indoor playing. We don't have a super big space inside, so it's just kind of running back and forth. And then yesterday I took him to the park at about 8 o'clock at night, and we did a couple laps around the park, and then we just sat on the bench for about an hour while he just kind of laid in the grass and walked around a little bit, just anything to get him outside and get him a little bit tuckered out. So he kind of hit his breaking point today. He was a little ornery when I came home from work, and so I was like, all right, let's see what we can do. Let's not go crazy, but let's try to at least get a little something done. So that's what we're doing today, right, buddy? Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so cute. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me. Trying to think of what else happened. Not a ton. It's just been work, sleep, and trying to stay cool. That's really about it. I'm trying to think of anything else that's been going on life-wise that's not diamond painting related. I've been getting back into my skincare stuff. I started picking that hobby or that interest up a lot more recently. It usually happens in the summer because, I'm applying sunscreen year round, but I'm extra diligent, I guess, during the summer since we're out and about so much. So I was doing a lot of research for new sunscreens that have been coming out, and this past weekend I did like a little bop around town where I picked up a few different things from a few different brands that I had never heard of that kind of came out when I was not really shopping for as much sunscreen. So I might be doing a video series starting, I don't know, maybe this week, maybe next week, called Finish and Review Skincare Edition, where I talk about the products that I've finished and how they performed before I throw out the empty bottle. So I may be doing that a little bit more here and there as I use up products, so keep that in mind. I'll probably put a disclaimer at the beginning of like, this has nothing to do with diamond painting, so just FYI. But yeah, it'll be kind of like a little finish and review. I've got a bunch of empty bottles that are sitting there waiting to be talked about, so just a couple minutes on each one, how it performed, texture, scent, all of that good stuff. And then I'll try to put the links to the products, that way if someone decides they want to snag something, they can. So yeah, just continuing to evolve the channel, incorporate new different interests of mine, that type of thing. So you'll probably start seeing more skincare stuff pop up because it's something that I'm devoting more time to these days. So did that. It was like going to Sephora, and then I went to Ulta, and then I think I ordered a couple of things online. So yeah, a lot of SPF based things. So, and then when we go on our longer hikes and stuff, I'll probably start mentioning like what I'm wearing and how it's performing while we walk around. So I'll probably mention that when we get up to this walk, or this little hike about. So I'm gonna try to keep him, like I said, on leash so he's not sprinting and gassing himself really quick. And I'm hoping that we can go a little bit longer because of that. So hopefully we'll have enough time to really chit chat, go into a bunch of different stuff. I feel like when I have a bunch of topics floating in my head, they're just buzzing around and I can't focus on one thing. So I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. But yeah, I have a couple things when we get to the trail. So that's what's been going on there. Over the weekend, we went to Goose Town Station, which I've taken photos of before. It's this little music venue / bar here in Golden. And that was really fun. We stayed for a little while and then went to this other cocktail lounge down in downtown Golden. And then I came home and went to bed. And then, like I said yesterday, at the time of filming this is Monday. So on Sunday was just kind of a stay inside because it was really hot, and then we went to the park, and that's really the long and short of it. We didn't do too much, just kind of hung out and really just trying to keep cool. We have some plans. We did a little cookout on Saturday. Wait. So was that Saturday that we went to Goose Town Station? No, that was Friday. Sorry, Friday night we went to Goose Town Station. Saturday we had a little cookout, late evening cookout, and just made some hamburgers and hung out in the backyard. And then after that, Scott and I went over to a little not a brewery, a little dive bar is more like it. Just down the street from the house, they do karaoke on Saturdays, so we went, and I've just been in like a funky kind of mood. I don't know if I was stressed from work or I was trying to tamp down my stress at work, so then it manifested itself when I was done with work, because I just want to play it off like everything's fine. And then at the end of the week, I was just like, ugh. But yeah, so I was just like in a funky mood. So we got there and Scott's like, are you gonna sing? And I was like, I don't know, like, just not like feeling it, you know. I was just being sensitive and dramatic. But then we got up to go pay. We only had one beer, and we got up to go pay, and the bartender, the way that that bar works is they have like a dumbwaiter, and downstairs is where they keep their ice. They have a kitchen down there, so they'll prepare food and stuff. But there wasn't a second person to help her, so she'd have to run downstairs, send the dumbwaiter downstairs, load it up with ice, and then run back upstairs, and then the dumbwaiter meets her upstairs and unloads it. So we were sitting there for probably about 5 or 6 minutes waiting to pay, and there was only like 6 singers, and I was like, you know what? I need to get out of whatever funk I'm in and snap out of it. So we ended up staying and getting another drink, and I sang, and that it was nice. It was nice just to kind of I just need to like actively try to decompress rather than like, I don't know, just hoping it happens naturally. But I need to be more intentional of like, you're feeling this way, calm down. I think one of the reasons is during the work week last week is we did a bunch of site visits. We have some interns that are doing summer internships at the company that I work for, and so they get stationed at a bunch of different sites all around Colorado, where we have all of our different facilities and XYZ. So the past 2 weeks we've been doing these site visits where we go and the intern shows us around. Well, last week was the most that we ever did, or the most that we do during this internship season. So we went to one area that was absolutely stunning. It's in Littleton, Colorado, which is like southwest Denver, but it's technically Littleton, but it's up in the foothills. So if I can remember, in editing, I'll insert a picture, but it was just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the company I work for owns all the land. And so we have employees out there that manage the land. They're essentially like park rangers, but not really. They don't work for the city. They're just hired through us, but they manage the trail and make sure the people are not swimming in areas that they shouldn't be swimming in, and make sure people aren't overheating on the trail. It's actually the start of the Colorado Trail, and so you walk the 6 miles up the canyon, and then the Colorado Trail starts. And it's a big trail, very popular. It goes from Denver to Durango, Colorado. I think it's about 500 miles, I want to say, of trail. And people will do it over the course of weeks, months, however long it takes. So that's the start of it. So you see people with these like giant backpacks on and their sleeping mats. They're like starting a big journey. And so they just make sure that people are doing okay. They don't need any extra help. All of that good stuff. If people seem like they're suffering from heat exhaustion, they'll drive them back down. And so we got to go visit, and the intern drove us around. And then the next day we went to another location that we have in Denver in partnership with one of the universities here in the state. And that's where we do a lot of lab stuff. So we got to do a lab tour, and then the next day we got to go to, on Thursday, another location up in Boulder, and they took us around on the boat, and like it was cool. It was really cool. But you do these day-long kind of little field trips, but then I still have to do like my full day's worth of work afterwards. So I think that's probably the reason why I was a little stressed, is like I'm trying to cram 40 hours of work into 20 hours of time. So it was a bit, but we're fine now. We're kind of back to, knock on plastic, a little bit more of a sense of normalcy this week. We don't have any intern visits. We do have a tour of the same place, that partnership with the university. It just so happens that the HR department booked a tour to go there anyway. So I'm going back there this week, but I think I'm in a better place to leave the office for several hours. And it's all of HR going, when before it was just recruitment. And so and our boss's boss is going. So I think the sentiment is a little bit more like, it's okay to drop everything. This is like mandatory. You have to come. Whereas the other stuff, I just volunteered to do it because I want to support the interns. I want to show them that we're there and we care. And you could tell they were so proud of like knowing what they know and having worked there for a couple months already. So it was absolutely worth it. But then I got back to the office or back home, and I'm just like, oh, that's 100 emails, isn't it? So, but yeah, we're kind of getting back to some normalcy a little bit. But that's what happened last week. I was trying to think of like, why was I so taxed? But yeah, it's a combination of different things kind of coming together where I'm just like, oh boy, right, buddy? So yeah, but hopefully this week we'll be able to get back on track from a work standpoint. I'm feeling pretty good. I really just cranked it out today and tried to get as much done as I could. Only have one kind of major task to complete tomorrow, and then it's just upkeep. Then it's just kind of touching things here and there. But yeah, I think a lot of my work stress is definitely self-imposed, because I want to get stuff done for people like my managers and stuff like immediately. If they say they need something, I'm on it. It's done. And so letting stuff sit all day while I'm bopping around at whatever site, it kind of weighs on me. I struggle with just being like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Sometimes it's hard for me to have that attitude, especially when there's multiple things, to juggle. So yeah, well, we're coming up on, we're still probably about 10 minutes away from the trailhead. And we'll keep chatting when I get to the trail and dive into some more life stuff. We'll probably talk about content creation and event stuff first, just because there's a lot there. And then we can go into like whip updates and all of that. future diamond painting plans, and then sprinkle in just some odds and ends, just some like news stuff, or just some chit chat stuff. So let me get to the trailhead, let me get him all set up, I'll get the camera up and running, and we will start gabbing, okay? We'll see you there. Bye. Okie dokie, whoops. Looks like we are recording. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Hi. Sorry, that might be really... I was fussing with the microphone. Hi. I hope everyone had fun during the drive over. Listening to me gab, because we're going to keep on gabbing. But yeah, we're out here. You've seen this trail before. We're out near Boulder, Colorado. I'm sure you can see it's quite overcast. It looks like we've got some showers kind of around us. Maybe some coming in. The wind's coming in from the west. So we might get some weather coming in. If it starts sprinkling or I see any signs of lightning, we'll just flip around. No big deal. But it's about 12 degrees cooler over here than it was over by the house where I had some more direct sunlight. So hopefully it cools off tonight. If it does, me and Apollo might have a backyard patio hangout tonight. I might put the folding table out there and diamond paint outside just for a little bit of a break. I need to start doing that more anyway, is diamond painting out in the back patio, just to get out of the stuffy house. We do have our big swamp cooler, but the swamp cooler is set up in my office / craft room. And so, and my chair sits right, maybe like 3-4 feet away from that window where the swamp cooler is set up. So I'm just getting blasted with air while I'm sitting there diamond painting. I have to put on my noise canceling headphones, to keep the wind from blowing in my ear, but also just to reduce the noise, because, you know, it's a loud, big old swamp cooler. So I have to sit there with noise canceling headphones, which I do anyway, but typically I don't have them on noise cancellation mode. I'm just listening with my headphones, but I have to try to block out the noise and just, you know, the wind hitting my ear. It can get really annoying and uncomfortable in there. So it's like I need to either find a new space to diamond paint in, or I just, maybe I need to move my table around or something. I don't know. Because on the opposite side of the room is where my office desk is, my computer desk. And so if I was to flip that, then while I'm working from home, I'd be blasted in the face with the AC. So it's like, pick your poison, you know? So it's okay, I'll survive. It's not that big of a deal. It just sucks that I can't really hear anything going on in the house. Like, if someone's trying to talk to me and I'm in the craft room, I can't hear a darn thing because A, the wind noise, and B, I have my headphones on. So a lot of times my roommate will come home at night and I'm diamond painting and he like walks by the hallway and scares the crap out of me because I can't hear anything. So I just see a figure in the doorway. So I wish that swamp cooler was in a different room, but it is what it is. But anyway, maybe diamond painting outside will be my next thing that I work on. The only thing is, I've got my big spotlight that I use to diamond paint with, and that would attract all the bugs. So yeah, I'd have to troubleshoot that. But anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna go for as long as we can. We've got a nice breeze coming through too, so I think Apollo's okay. I'm not gonna let him off his leash, at least not for the first good way or most of it, because this is cow grazing area, and the past 2 times that I've been out here and let him off his leash, he's rolled in poop. So I just gave him, oh, that's something else that we did on, was that Sunday? Yeah, I went and took him for a bath. So yesterday. So I don't want to I don't want to dirty him up just yet. I want to keep him clean for at least one day. So we'll keep him on his leash, but he seems fine these days on leash. He doesn't really pull very much. He just likes to be in the grass and likes to walk around out there. Of course, if he had his preference, he'd be sprinting everywhere, but I don't feel like I'm hurting his adventure time by keeping him on leash. So, right, buddy? Let's go this way. Come here. Come here, buddy. Oh, hold on. We got a potty break. 1 second. Oh, never mind. Never mind. False alarm. Let's go. Oh, maybe? Are you gonna do it or not? Hold on. Okay, series of false alarms, so we're good. Oh, let me make sure that went. That is the problem with these. Okay, so that's one thing that I wanted to talk about life stuff is I need to get new workout shorts. Both pairs of my like workout quote unquote shorts. I have other shorts that are like just normal daily shorts, but I have these workout shorts that are kind of sweatpantsy, and both of them have a tear, or the fabrics come separated from the pocket, so you think you've gone to put something in your pocket and it just goes right down the bottom of my leg. And so I have to be like mindful of like, did it go in the pocket or did it go in the tear, the opening in front of the pocket? And I lost my debit card that way last week. So that was probably another stressor, because I misplaced my debit card. I think I don't know where I was, but I went to go put my debit card in my pocket instead of putting it in my wallet, and it must have slipped down my pants leg. So that was a bummer. And just in general last week, I was just feeling very scattered. Maybe the past couple of weeks, and it comes and goes with me, is where I just kind of get foggy brained and put things wherever they may lay, and not really think about where I'm putting stuff. And so just misplacing things and just felt disorganized and like scattered, and it happens to me once in a while. And so that was just another thing I think that was driving my frustration and impacting my mood, is just like I felt like I just didn't have it together. And so, I've been kind of looking into like, I need to make some more like serious, conscious like health changes just to make sure I'm taking care of myself. Like, I'm not like as far as diet goes, definitely could use some improvement there. I'm not a completely sedentary person. I mean, we do these walks, we go on miles long hikes and stuff too, but that's really about it. Like, I don't do any real like intense cardio or weightlifting necessarily, so I want to get into that. I'm going to try to be a sober Sally for the rest of the summer. Last weekend was just kind of my last weekend of going out and doing stuff. And I told my buddies, I was like, hey, I'm going to still go out with you guys, but no peer pressure if I want water or a seltzer or something. Just because we do go out, pretty much every weekend, and even like once or twice throughout the week, we'll go have a couple drinks. So I just kind of want to rein that in a little bit, see if that helps with the fogginess. I think, because in my head, I'm like, maybe it's dehydration. Like maybe I just am like chronically dehydrated, even though I think I drink a decent amount of water. It might not be enough, So I just want to start just kind of keeping tabs on that stuff. Hold on. Hi. See if it just helps with the occasional like brain fog, see if it helps with just like general mood, like sometimes I feel like I'm easily frustrated or just like sensitive towards certain things, and like not as even keeled as I'd like to be. And so I just want to see if like just making some lifestyle choices might help, or just some little things here and there, just continuing to fine tune. And as I get older, as I'm getting older, that stuff just becomes front of mind more and more, of like Do you really need Wendy's again? So like stuff like that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna swing by the grocery store tonight, maybe drop Apollo off, and just try to start cooking for myself, because I do it if I have like HelloFresh meals, or something pops into my head like, ooh, I really want to try that recipe. But I'd say 75% of the time I'm either grabbing something on the way home, or when I do go to the grocery store, it's like a pre-packaged, like a frozen PF Chang's thing, you know, for it, because it's relatively inexpensive, $8, and you've got yourself some orange chicken, throw some rice on there. Like, I should be doing more like salads and some like not fried things. So yeah, I don't know. I've got to figure that out, because when it does bubble or come to a head where I'm just like in brain fog mode, feeling sluggish, feeling tired, it just all kind of hits at once, and I'm like, what's happening to me? So I just would like to be a little bit more consistent. Apollo, there's so much poop around. He's like, yes, 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 you brought me to the buffet. Nope, not today, buddy. That's why you're on your leash. So yeah, that's been going on. What else was we were talking about something before those cyclists came up, but now I don't remember. I think it was just weather related, probably. The breeze coming through, so I think he'll be fine. What else is going on? So yeah, I guess we can jump into diamond painting related filming stuff. I have a fun update on Saturday. After I took Apollo to the dog wash and before our little barbecue, I had a call with Tima over at DP with Sparklers. I just randomly had this idea in my head. Originally, I was going to do this like cocktail hour for my final Summer with the Masters video, where I show people how to make like wine spritzers, and do like a little video around that, because wine spritzers originated in Austria, which is where Gustav Klimt was from. So, and the spritzers were really popular during his time. So I was like, oh, that'll be a neat little tie-in. And so my first plan was to do that out in the backyard a few weeks ago. And then I ended up bailing on it, because I was like, there's no one here, you know, in front of me. So what am I just gonna make all these spritzers for myself and buy all this stuff? So I was like, all right, let's wait till July 4th when we go up to the mountains, and I'll do spritzers for my friends. There's probably about 14 of us. So I got all this stuff, hauled it all up there, and it just ended up not being the right vibe for me to film like make everyone's gather around, sit quietly and let me teach you about the wine spritzer and how it connects to diamond painting. Like, it just, I couldn't corral everyone to like do a little lesson. It was very much party mode, which I was there for, don't get me wrong. But when it came to like, we were on the last night and I was gonna do it that night, everyone was just kind of tired. People were laying out in the back, kind of sunbathing. People were on the deck. A couple people were inside, but you know, we had in the Airbnb, all of our individual like food that we brought all over the countertops, and it just wasn't, you know, it's like when you go up with like a couple families, there's just groceries and stuff everywhere. So I was like, I'd have to clean the whole counter, set up the mic, set up the lighting, all of that stuff. And it just wasn't the right vibe. I was like, you know what I'd rather do is just crack open these wine bottles and go sit and relax with my friends. So that's what we did. We made some of them, but I didn't film anything. But it was a good practice run, I guess. So brought all the stuff that we didn't use up all the way back down. And I was like, I still want to do that. I still think it'd be fun. And then I was like, well, my other backup idea was to, oh, look at this view. Look at this view. It's always so pretty. We're about to lose a little cloud cover here, so good thing I brought my sunscreen. So yeah, my other idea, my backup was like, I'll do a how to enhance your diamond paintings, more specifically like how to enhance old masters, or just kind of general drill enhancements. So I was like, okay, well, if I end up losing interest in the enhancement thing, then maybe at least I can do, or the cocktail thing, I can at least do the enhancements. And then that idea was brewing in my head, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can do both. And maybe I can get someone to help me. So I reached out to Tima over at DP with Sparklers, a sponsor of Summer with the Masters, and I was like, hey, I have this idea of teaching you how to make a wine spritzer, and then you can teach me how to like do drill enhancements or some of the products that you have on your shop. And she's like, I'm in. I was like, okay, now I'm committed. I have to do this. So that's what we did on Saturday. We connected, and she got some supplies on her end, and I had my supplies on my end. So I taught her how to do a really simple, quick, no muss, no fuss spritzer. They're all pretty simple, but this was like the most pared down version. And then we spent the rest of the time talking about her shop and how she's enhancing her Summer with the Masters kit. And it was just a fun chit chat, you know. It was good to connect with Tima. It was fun. So we did that, and then after that is when I went outside and had my burger and hung out with my buddies. And at one point, because my office faces the patio, and because the swamp cooler's in there, in the window, you can hear everything that people are saying out there. And so at one point you hear my roommate Spencer go, "How do you want your burgers, guys?" And he's like yelling. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And Tima's like, well, how do you like your burger? So it was just fun, very, very kind of impromptu style, kind of casual, you know, no script or anything like that. It was just kind of us just connecting and chit-chatting and having a good time. So I hope everyone likes it. That'll be my final video for the series and the final video for Summer with the Masters. So that'll be out this coming Saturday. So yeah, oh, how pretty, how beautiful. I love it out here. How are you liking it? How are you liking it, bud? So yeah, did that, and then I'd like to connect with Katie. We've been texting back and forth, but we need to connect so we can discuss the final video, or the final piece, because we have to announce our grand prize winners. And that's the intention. What we're hoping is that'll be done on a live. So we'll do a live at some point in August to announce the grand prize winners and just talk about the event. And I think it'll be fun. I love chatting with Katie, so that should be a good time. But we just need to figure out logistics. So just have a call with her or FaceTime her or something and work all that out. So, but yeah, things are going good. I uploaded last week all of my winners or prize winners on my channel so far. I got all those uploaded into a spreadsheet and reached out to all the shops. I still need to talk to one, but yeah, reached out to all the shops, and hopefully those are all getting sent out and all of that good stuff. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there. You ready? This way. Good boy. And then yeah, just check in with Katie, make sure that we're on the same page. It's kind of funny, like once the event starts, like there's a lot of like lead up to it, like preparation and getting the announcement videos up and putting together all the documents and the sign up forms and tracking all of that. But then once the event kind of gets going, then it kind of is just engaging with people, like going on Instagram and liking people's progress photos and going on Diamonds and Emeralds and liking people's stuff when I get the chance and putting up my videos and just doing the prize drawings. But other than that, it's not like this all-consuming thing that takes up the all 2 months of my, like, all my bandwidth. It's just kind of like respond to people, engage with them, you know, like stuff, and then put up a video every other week, you know, put up a total of 4 videos. So it's not really that, I don't want to say it's not hard, because running an event is work, you know, engaging with all the sponsors, like I said, all that front end stuff, organizing the prizes and what makes the most sense, and, you know, keeping track of that stuff. But it didn't completely like consume me, as like I guess I might have been worried, just because when you're participating, it does look like a lot, and it is. But like I said, it's just, I had it in my head that I'd be like sleeping and breathing all summer with the Masters for 2 months straight, and like very little, if any, diamond painting will be done, because I'll be constantly responding to emails and fielding questions, and people just kind of diamond paint and have fun, you know. So yeah, and thank you everyone for that has been participating, or if you've had questions and you were patient while I responded or Katie responded. Yeah, I appreciate it. Now we're getting some sun poking through. It's been a blast. This is the final week, and it's awesome. I definitely, I guess we can talk about, well, it's a good tie-in, but I definitely felt a little like I bailed on like my personal whip for the second half of this event was the Moussenet Lob Mousse kit, that cross-stitch conversion. And I kind of did. We'll talk about whips and the more progress that I've been making on it. But it just, it really was more than I could handle. So next time, you know, if I ever got the opportunity to do this again with Katie, or do another event of any kind, I'm definitely going to pick, even though I want to go big, go home, do a giant kit, for the purposes of being able to like consistently share on Instagram or consistently talk about progress, I'll probably pick 2 medium-sized pre-packaged kits, just so I can knock out a few sections and have something to share. This Moussenet Lob Mousse is like, I'll give that thing 2 hours and I feel like I barely have done anything. You know, I've put just a few hundred drills down, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I know you're gonna be beautiful, but oh my gosh. So it just, I do feel a little bit, maybe guilty is the best word I can come up with, but I feel like I just, like when it comes to Instagram, I ended up picking a round drill canvas once I was done with Lady with a Fan, and it wasn't Old Masters themed, it just happened to be one that I really wanted to work on. And now I almost feel like I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit, like you should have picked around Old Masters from somewhere in your stash just to keep the theme going and continue to push the event. So I hope, and I definitely talk to Katie about it. I'm sure she doesn't feel this way, but I'm like, I hope she doesn't feel like I abandoned Old Masters projects halfway through. I don't think she feels that way. Hold on. But yeah, that kit really did a number on me, really kicked my butt. So I need to get back into it. I've been devoting a lot more time to my non-Old Masters kits. If I had to do it again, I would have went in my stash and picked another pre-packaged Old Masters, even if it was like a big old Alphonse Mucha or something, at least something to like continue on with posting about the event, because I think my last Summer with the Masters post was my finish of Lady with the Fan, which was at the beginning of the month. So I don't know, we still have a couple, technically we have this week and all of next week for the quote-unquote end of the event. So who knows, maybe I'll get a wild hair and throw something up there. But yeah, I just, that cross-stitch conversion really, I was making really good progress at the beginning because it was this like a few background colors of like whites and ivories, and now we're getting into the thick of the confetti and it's like just a snail's pace. So maybe I'll do some of that tonight, I'm not sure. And it's also like one thing that I wasn't doing is like, all right, charge the iPad, you know, get your, because, you know, you have to have the iPad. Not that that's a problem, but, you know, as it's just like, I don't know, for whatever reason, the combination of a really intricate max color kit, you know, 255 colors, that's 85.5 by 120, and just super confetti dense, mixed with the cross stitch conversion of it all. Like, once again, it was just more than I could handle, at least in order to make any sort of decent progress for you know, a timed event, quote unquote. You know, I only have this last month to do it. So yeah, maybe I'll try to just push really hard and try to at least get one update photo of it up. So maybe I'll work on that tonight. But yeah, so that's what's been going on with event stuff. I reconnected with Hannah and Sophie. So at some point in August, we're going to start really getting into the nitty gritty of the cross stitch conversion 2023 event in earnest. It doesn't start till October, so we have some time, but we probably should start talking about sponsors and you know, timelines and all of that stuff. In my head, I was like, oh, I'll just keep doing Moose and Lab Moose through that event. I'm like, yeah, but you're already, I say that and I'm already feeling kind of like a little burnt out by that kit so early on in it. Like, I don't want it to be yet another, you know, roadblock for me for this next event. So I'm probably going to kit up a different cross stitch conversion for it, something like that. So we'll see. I've got enough storage containers. I can do it. So we'll see. Might as well load up the whips. I feel like maybe for me, cross stitch conversions will be like, I just have them all kitted up and I just kind of pick at them throughout the year. Who knows? Oh, so pretty. I needed this. So yeah, we'll see what happens there with that event stuff. And then I need to reconnect with Hannah over at Iterations Crafts. I don't know if that'll happen this year, but I'd love to do a Hannah event of some kind. So I haven't really messaged her, been chatting with her much this month, so I should probably reach out. So that's kind of what's going on with event stuff and content stuff. Oh, so I mentioned earlier that this is the first video that I've recorded that I'm like, I will be posting this or not. It's hard to describe, but essentially I recorded 2 videos between this and the last one, and neither of them are gonna go up. I did one that was supposed to be a whip and jam where me and Apollo just went around the lake. And so I was just gonna do a whip and jam, and then I was talking, like doing the intro, and something came up, I forget what it was. And before you know it, we were like halfway through the walk and I was still like talking about this thing. It was probably event stuff. And I was like, what am I doing? This was supposed to be a whip and jam, like no talking, just music. And I was like, maybe I should just turn the audio off, you know, mute it and then put the music over it. So it's like I was never talking in the first place. And I was like, I'll do this again at some other point, do a different whip and jam. We've already been around the lake for those like 2 or 3 times. And so I kind of forgot what I was even talking about, but I just remember catching myself like, wait, what am I doing? I've been gabbing for like 20 minutes and this is supposed to be us just not doing that. So it's like, all right, well, we'll try again. And I think it started raining during that one too. So we were just kind of like scrambling to get back to the car. Is that a rock or is that poop? That's a rock. Okay, you're good. Look at these. I don't know what this bush or wildflower is, this yellow, but it's giving a really pretty color. So yeah, that happened. And then I had the bright idea of wanting to do this thing. I think I did mention this at some point, but I wanted to do this video of like a tutorial on how to get the sticky, ticky, tacky stuff off of your drill storage containers when you're done kitting down, like once you peel off all the stickers. Let's Let's look this way. How gorgeous. Once you get done peeling off all the stickers, and I hadn't tried it before, but I was like, I'm certain it will work. And essentially what it is, it's called PBW. It's like a powdered brewer's wash. So it's this like powdered detergent, essentially, that they use in breweries and in home brewing to like clear all the gunk out of their kettles, just get rid of all the gunk. It's like a pretty strong detergent, but it's a food safe detergent. You just have to use warm or hot water, and you could put it in a spray bottle or you can soak stuff in it, and it just breaks down all the gloopy, gross stuff super, super well when you're brewing. And when one thing that I did back in the day was I was a home brewer, and so we not only used that to clean, but it was really, really good at getting labels off of beer bottles. So let's say I wanted to make a batch of beer and recycle my beer bottles. I could soak them in this solution in like a 5-gallon bucket, and it would loosen up all the stickers, all the labels on the beer bottles, and they just come right off. You'd maybe have to do a little wipe here and there. Wow, this stream is way lower than it was this spring. That's crazy. So yeah, you just soak them for like 20, 30 minutes, and you go to grab them and the labels would just kind of slip off because it had broken down all of that adhesive that they use for beer bottles. And so I was like, that should work out just fine. That'll be perfect for the stickers for diamond painting containers. I'd assume it's maybe a similar adhesive or would do the same thing. So my original idea was to do a practice run and check to see if it worked before I dove in. But I was like, let's experiment together. So I just set up the camera, and I think this was Saturday. I forget which day I did this, but set up the camera and hey, let's go this way. He wants in that water so bad. Set up the camera. I was like, let's experiment. I'm pretty sure this will work. It's worked when I did the beer bottles, so let's give it a shot. It didn't work. I don't know if it's because it's plastic that they're stuck to and not the glass of the bottle might have something to do with it. I don't know, but it kind of broke the paper. You know, if there was like paper that had ripped off with the sticker, that would kind of come off and rub away. But the actual tacky like adhesive from the stickers, and these were the stickers that came with the Art Dot containers. These weren't the DAC stickers. Maybe that would be different, but it did not take it off whatsoever. At first I thought it was working, and then I dried them and they were just as tacky as they were before. So once again, if I can remember, I think I saved it. If I can remember, I'll put in a clip of the blooper of it failing. I'll throw that in maybe at the end of this video or somewhere. But yeah, it didn't work. So that was another video that was that I put in the trash, or decided not to post. Let's go straight. And then we'll turn. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry, I don't know what just happened there, but yeah, I just had a grouping of dogs there. So I just wanted to get past them. And now we're on the no bikes trail. So we'll probably go down here a little ways, and then we'll flip around. Let's see if we can get to 2 miles each way. We're at 1.6, and then we will flip around. Oh, it looks like there was a fire over here. Was that? No, that couldn't have been recent. The trees must have been like that from a previous fire. I was like, I don't remember that, but then again, I wasn't paying super close attention last couple times we've come over here. I don't know if you're at a good enough angle to see the fluff, but there we go. You ready? Let's go. Let's go, little fluff butt. So yeah, that video ended up being a bust. It didn't work. And I was like, should I just post it as like a fail? I was like, nah, I'll just include it in like a blooper clip or a little piece of it at some point. I just don't remember if I deleted it or not. So yeah. That's about it for content stuff, I think. I don't really have any major plans for any like big upcoming videos. I've got a couple of things in the fall that I'd like to work on, but no concrete plans, nothing immediate. I'm really thinking that August might be pretty slow for me. I mean, I already feel like it's been slow because we've just been doing like vlog, unboxing, and that's it, or vlog unboxing summer with the masters video. That's already pretty bare bones for me as it is, but I'm thinking we may, I don't know, I say things and then I flip-flop and change my mind, but I think I might end up taking a couple weeks off in August. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that. I'm sure that I'll go on a hike and want to chat. That's kind of one of the things I want to do, is do some more hikes. So I may do some vlogs, but I just want to put it out in the universe that there's a chance that I might take a week, couple weeks, few weeks off in August from any content whatsoever. Just, just so I can, if I want to do a hike, maybe I can just listen to a podcast that time and not chat, or stuff like that. Just keep it a little bit more casual, even though I love to chat. Come on, buddy. Come on. You're holding up the line. Let's go. Who knows? I just want to put it out there in the universe that I might do a little summer break of my own for a couple weeks. I had a few unboxings in the can that I pre-recorded, and I think I've used all of them up now, officially. And so now, at the time of filming this, it's Monday, and so I should be recording one tonight in order to get it up tomorrow, or tomorrow evening to get up late tomorrow night. But I don't know if that's something that'll be in the cards if I feel like it tonight. One of the main things too is, let's go. When I film inside now, once again, because of the swamp cooler, I have to turn that off so you can hear me, and it gets hot really quick, and then it takes a while for it to cool back down. So I feel rushed, I feel sweaty, I feel uncomfortable when I'm filming inside. When I was doing that gunk removal video, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. So that's another reason why I've been like, I don't know, I am not super motivated to film inside, because it's just, I know I'm gonna have to turn that AC off. So yeah, we'll see. It's just like always, it's a little up in the air. It's a little all over the place. It's a little bit of everything. So, but yeah, don't be worried if things are quiet on the channel next month, as I just kind of do some other stuff. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of any other life stuff. Our family reunion's coming up in a couple weeks. August 4th and 5th. Yeah, August 4th and 5th are a family reunion. And then I took the second week of August, I took the majority of it off. I have like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, like starting on like the 13th of August, or I don't remember the exact dates, but something along those lines. I'd like to do a little backpacking trip, so I'll most likely film at least a portion of that. So I have that, and then in September, I am going on a work conference. So I'll be going to Nashville during the middle of September, so of course I'll record a travel vlog for that. And then I haven't requested the time off. I've just been talking to my boss about it, but I have plans to take a week off in October to do a little road trip to the southwest of the United States, and that'll be a road trip with Apollo. So I need to start looking at Airbnbs that allow dogs, all that good stuff, but hoping to do like a little week-long. Probably won't be road tripping the entire week. We'll probably just, it's a one-day drive down there, and then spend 2 or 3 nights there, and then come back, and then I'll have a few days just to recoup and regroup before I have to go back to work. So that's coming up in October, and then of course, holiday time. I'll probably have some time off for Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that, but yeah, just trying to figure out how that road trip will coincide with the cross-stitch conversion event, all that stuff. But yeah, we're almost at 2 miles, bud. Then we'll flip it. Then we will flip it and reverse it. So yeah, that's kind of some upcoming life plans, all of that stuff. But as far as whips go, I'll just start with the ones that have most to least progress, or maybe least to most. No, we'll do most to least. So I have, no, sorry, that wasn't for you. He's like, are you calling me? Transparent by Yume Art and Diamond Art Club. That kit, I got another row and a half, maybe more done on that one. I mean, it's moving and grooving. I'm pretty far along. I'd say 75%, maybe even more done on that one. I did get a little bit of time to diamond paint over the weekend, and I just solely worked on that kit. And actually, no, that's not true. But majority of my diamond painting time was focused on that kit. I got to some pretty big sections of color blocking kind of around her head. So that one's looking pretty good. And then I got another section and a half done on Senorita. So I've gotten a whole nother column done. So I don't know exactly how far along I am on that one. I'd like to say halfway, maybe more, but it's kind of hard to tell because it's so big. But another good chunk. I'll be posting an update on Instagram of that one here in a couple days with that photo. And then Moussenet Laub Mousse, I probably got another 400 drills or so down on it. Very slow going. That was all done in like one evening session. It's all I got placed. So slow going there. And then no progress elsewhere. We have a mystery kit from Jaded Gem Shop and Hannah over at Iterations Crafts. No work done on that. And then, geez, what am I missing? Oh, Johnson's, nope, Sunset, nope, what is it called? What is that kit called? I think it's called Sunset Crossing, yeah, by Craftably. And no progress on that. The person that was interested in me destashing that did respond to me on Instagram. I just haven't written back to them. We're just trying to work out a price and how they want the kit. I think what I'll probably do is kit it down into baggies and just hand write the DMC and serial number on the baggies and call it good. That's our 2 miles, buddy. Do you want to get to the top of this hill and then we'll flip? So I'm gonna price it to sell. I just kind of want it gone, and I have a few extra boxes from my initial D-stash, so I can get that shipped out to them. You just need to work on. It's just me being non-responsive. It's my fault. What the heck was that? I heard what either sounded like a deer or something making a noise. Oh, it's a cow. I hear cattle. I was like, it sounded like a moo, but I couldn't be sure. Yeah, this would definitely be a moment where Apollo would be like, I'm gonna go check that out a mile away. Yeah, let's just get up over this ridge. I'm curious to see what's over here. I don't think we've been this far. So yeah, that's, I think that's all my, oh, and then my cross-stitch conversion, Darth Vader, Francesca Studio Works, and Heaven and Earth Designs. No progress on that. I haven't touched it. And this is really pretty. I love the like autumnal, like late summer colors that we're getting here. It's very pretty. Even though we're in like the dead of the heat. All right, let's go. Let's flip it. Good boy. Good boy. That'll put us at about 4.5 miles when all's said and done. So, yeah, Senorita, Mousse Ne Lab Mousse, Transparent, Darth Vader, Mystery Kit, Sunset Crossing. Yep, those are them. So those are my 6 whips, with soon to be one new one. Before we left out for the day, I got home from work and it was, direct sun, super duper hot. It's still too early to take him. I get home around 4:30 and I try not to leave the house with him in this heat until after 6 p.m. because then I need at least know it's gonna start cooling down. But if I was to take him right at 4:30, he'd be a puff of smoke by the time we got any progress done on our hike. So I try to keep him as comfortable as possible while still having some daylight. And we've been hiking for 48 minutes, so that'll put us back to the car at about 8:15 p.m. So that'll be perfect. So just kind of nice sunset walks is what I'm trying to go for. So 6 o'clock is a good departure time. But anyway, so I had a little bit of time before we left, and I wanted to stand, did want to kind of stand next to the AC because it was so dang hot. And so I was like, let me kit something up. I've been saying that I want to start kitting up some stuff maybe for drills and chills. I have the storage containers for it. So I grabbed Witch's greenhouse out of my trunk of doom. And I got about halfway done kitting that up before we decided to leave. I did laundry and some other stuff in between that too. So, but I got 31 or 32 colors in, and I was like, all right, let's hit the road. So I'm gonna finish that when we get home and then see what else I decide to do. So that'll be nice to have that kitted up and ready for that event. I never participate in the sense that I sign up for prizes or anything. I participate in events and other folks' events when I do, just to keep using the hashtag and lift them up. See, now I say that and I'm like, gosh darn it, I'm probably gonna kit up an Old Masters when I get home. That's probably what I'm gonna do. I probably won't diamond paint tonight. I'm probably gonna finish kitting up Witch's greenhouse, and then I'm gonna probably either kit up the Kiss or Woman in Gold. I gotta throw around those Summer with the Masters 2023 hashtags, at least for the rest of the month. So that's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm sitting here saying, I like to just use the hashtags. I'm like, yeah, Anthony, you're not even doing that for the event you're co-hosting with. So I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I typically don't participate for prizes. I kind of stopped doing that when I got offers to like receive a free kit in exchange for XYZ. I was like, well, if I'm doing that, then I don't need to be getting prizes too, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just didn't seem fair. So I kind of stopped doing that. Hey, you don't need to, he's not even eating the stuff. He's just biting it to bite it. Oh, it looks like we've got, hold on just a second. Okie dokie. So yeah, after the first time I got offered that, I just stopped putting my name in for like prizes for events. I just wanted to put a themed kit up with the hashtag just to keep the conversation going. So I will do that with my Summer with the Masters kit tonight. I got to. It's just gonna keep making me feel bad, and that's of no other. That is just in my own head, but I gotta do it. So yeah, maybe I'll do. I don't know which one I'll do. Maybe I'll just kind of pick randomly, Woman in Gold or the Kiss. I want to mess with some special drills, so maybe I'll do Woman in Gold. So anyway, all of that's to say, who knows, I might get a wild hair, and if I end up finishing Senorita or finishing another kit or something like that, and who knows, I might start on Witch's Greenhouse and save the progress photos and stuff for when the event starts. I don't know, since I'm not entering in for prizes or anything, I don't think that counts as cheating, but just kind of hold on to them until the event starts. That way I do have something to share. That's very pie in the sky. It would be a miracle if I got enough kits done so where I felt like I could start on that. But I just wanted to get some stuff out of the trunk. So that's what I'll do. And Woman in Gold's another one that's in the trunk. So I can kit that up tonight. I'll have a little kit up party. Maybe I can do a kit up in chat of that one. Or a kit up and music, kitten jam. So that's what I have as far as my whips. So now you'll start to hear me say Witch's Greenhouse and probably Woman in Gold as part of that loosely for now, because they're just kitted up, not started. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, I guess, one of the last things that I wanted to talk about is just some content creation stuff, but also just some general, just like diamond painting in the world and just, I don't know, just thoughts on stuff. So one kit that I used to consider a kind of whip was McKeeling by DIY Moonshop, that I had done those color swaps with. And I ended up kitting that down and throwing the canvas away. It sounds like from what I'm hearing that the DIY Moonshop closed down permanently, and that's a huge bummer. I never want to see, businesses shutter, or what the heck is that? There's like something straight ahead. I don't know how you'd turn to get over there. And it looks like maybe it's like a little restaurant or something. There's a lot of cars. We might have to investigate that. That looks new. I don't know which turn that is though. Anyway, those cows are so loud. I wonder if you can pick the microphone's picking that up. Sorry, I just knocked you too. Nope, not in the mud. Not in the mud. Take the detour. So yeah, I never want to see a small shop, have to shutter or close up shop. It's just a huge bummer. I hope that the family is okay and they have other means of, handling things and providing for themselves and for family and stuff. I'm sure they do. I would doubt that they would, shut down their main source of income without any sort of backup plan. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. it sucks. It's a huge bummer. Never want to see a shop close. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to be 100% candid with too, because on the flip side, from a consumer standpoint, it isn't like 100% surprising to me necessarily. Sorry, I'm trying to like clear. I think I have a gnat stuck in somewhere. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think part of me wants to say it's a bummer, you know, which is all true, all very valid, and just leave it at that. But then there's also the analytical part of me that's like, I wish there was something that could have been done to like keep them around. And I think that a lot of us as customers, first time or otherwise, providing our feedback, like we're trying to kind of make some of those changes happen that might have helped. I don't know. Like at first I felt a little bit guilty about not raving about them, and in fact doing work to kind of like, or trying to prove my point that there was something wrong there. When I heard that they had closed, I was like feeling a little guilty that I hadn't just like kept my mouth shut or just pretended I never had any problems and just never said anything. But I think, like I said in those videos, like providing your honest feedback is how you drive like change and encourage shops to make adjustments so they can serve their customers better. And so I have to just keep leaning on that and not feel, of course, not personally responsible, but like part of any kind of pile on that led to something happening with their shop. I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure there's plenty of other factors that led to that happening. I don't think a shop would have to completely close because a couple people raised their hand and said, hey, these renderings are not good. So I hope that wasn't, I know that couldn't have been all it was. And in fact, a couple of the artists that were signed by DIY Moonshop did comment on social media that even though this might be a shock to the customers, it's not as big of a shock to the artists. And I don't know if that means that they knew ahead of time or they got informed that their contracts were going to be canceled, or if they were just seeing sales slow down. There wasn't a lot of detail given. Hold on. Hi. So most likely this is something that had been in the works or was kind of writing on the wall for a little while. I just find it, once again, I'm not 100% surprised. And then the other thing that people who are expressing a lot of shock over is like how quickly it happened. Like their shop, they weren't responding, I guess, from what I'm hearing. This is just allegedly. They weren't responding to a lot of people's comments about like progress on their orders or questions about product all the way back in like May, right around the time that I did my breakdown of making adjustments to that kit. It seems like a lot of people just kind of lost or stopped getting contact with them for various things, and then it just kind of continued to get worse. And then their shop site just completely shut down, I think a couple of days ago, at the time of filming this at least. So no real warning, no like posting on the site of like, hey, unfortunately XYZ. You know, a lot of shops, when they have to face something like that, will typically thank their customers for X amount of years of business. If you have any outstanding questions or need assistance, you'll be able to reach out to us here. All of that stuff. But they seem to have just kind of went off the radar and didn't really provide customers with any sort of outlet or avenue or acknowledgement or anything, which, once again, not 100% surprised by it, just by my interaction with them when they were up and running. I kind of experienced the same thing, so none of it really shocks me. It's a bummer, and I do wish that, I know they're a family business, small business, I do wish them well, but maybe there are some lessons learned here as far as engaging with customers and providing a complete product, from not only the physical product but also the communication side of things. And who knows, maybe their lives and their careers or whatever it is have them going in a completely different direction, so it's just like a not really, don't really care anymore kind of thing. That's fine, but it just doesn't I'm sure long-time customers, I'm definitely not one of them, I was not a diehard, I only purchased once from them, might feel a little disheartened by, ooh, hey, excuse me, sir. That's why you keep him on a leash around your waist. Come on. That was like a tiny little baby bunny. Hey, come on. It's gone. Let it go. Yeah, I could see shopping with them for several years and them being my favorite spot, and then just nothing, That's a bummer. So, bummers all around. Bummers that they had to close up shop, and a bummer kind of in the manner they decided to do it, at least from what we've seen at this early stage. Who knows? I'm not a part of their Facebook group. I don't believe I follow them on any social medias. I don't think so, maybe. So maybe there's something there that I haven't seen, but just from what I've heard in the places that I have heard people chatting about it, it's just kind of like, just kind of blinked out. So, oh, geez, Apollo. Now he's all fired up and he wants to see if he can find that rabbit. Come on, enough. Let it go. It's over. Forward. So yeah, it sucks, and it definitely made me stop and take pause and just like kind of think of, okay, if I have a poor experience with a small shop, my knee-jerk reaction is to share everything and anything, be 100% transparent with it all. That's kind of why one of the big pieces of why I want to do content creation is to give people my thoughts and feelings and insight and stuff. But it's like, if that negatively impacts a business that's maybe already having a tough time, or just, it's not going to help them if I'm like, oh, and this is bad, and the canvas is bad, and the drills are bad. Like, I don't know, like, is my responsibility to the shop to like keep as many of these small shops going, or not personally, but you know what I mean, like, don't say anything negative, let people find out for themselves? Or is that onus to the viewers to give them honest opinions? And not lying, not pretending that it was great, but just omitting it completely, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think I have any sort of agency on any of that stuff, but I think people do listen, and it just drives a narrative forward, of, if there's a bunch of content creators and diamond painting, okay, pick a side, buddy, that are not having a good experience, that's going to drive that narrative forward, So I don't know. It's just left me in this awkward space of like you have to, do I take the good, do give the good and the bad, or just the good and pretend nothing else exists? I just don't want to see a shop that I had a poor experience with, struggle or have to close, or I just don't want to feel like I played any kind of role in that, So, I don't know. And then, this is me. I'm constantly playing devil's advocate with myself, and it's like, I'm not the one that made that rendering, so all I can do is speak to it and share. But I guess another option is to not, So, I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts as like viewers, or if you're a content creator yourself, like where do you see yourself in that situation, And I don't think at any time did DIY Moonshop give any indication, at least not to me or anybody that I know, that they were in any sort of dire straits. Maybe that would have changed how I approached that situation, Maybe I would have been a little bit more reserved in my deconstruction of that rendering and that kit. Or just not said, and just unboxed it, said, hey, the colors look a little wonky, and left it at that. And then maybe work on it in 6 months or a year after whatever changes they were going to make were going to be made. But at least I didn't needle it, I guess they don't owe anybody that, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, it sucks. At the end of the day, it sucks. And yeah, I don't know. I think the other thing too is like, a big part of why I jumped in and did all that stuff is also because of their response. Their response was very much like, there's nothing wrong. It's the best that it can be. Your eyes might be off, your monitor settings might be wrong, but looks good to us. And so that's really what made me kind of create that whole series. And so if it would have been a different approach of any kind, I think I wouldn't feel this way, because I probably wouldn't have gone so deep into that. But anyway, like I said, I'm almost positive it has nothing to do with any of the content that I put up. One person's critical review is not going to tank an entire business. So I think this is something that was going on well before that. And maybe my experience was just an outcome of those things that were happening in the background. Maybe they were not investing any more money or time into adjusting renderings, no more money or time into finding a good a different manufacturer, because at that point it was like we're already winding down. So I'm assuming that's what happened, and maybe that's where that kind of seemingly careless kind of response came from, is like, whatever, man, like we're not going to be here in a month, so yeah, cool, whatever, yeah, good luck with your rendering, pal. So I think that's what the case was. It's just poor. It's just the timing is such that I feel bad. So anyway, so yeah, I wanted to talk about that, and then just like, you know, content creation in general. I'm really loving the vlogs, and I keep reiterating that. I love doing the like come with me as I live my life kind of stuff, and it's starting to like eclipse a lot of the other things, especially because it's hot in the craft room. It's hard to film inside. It's hot in general. I'm not inside crafting as much. You know, just more and more of my time is spent doing these other things. So then in turn, I'm filming more and more of these other things. So I hope everyone enjoys this stuff and continues to come along with me. I've even been kind of thinking about, you know, piggybacking off of that small shop stuff is the time and energy, and just in one avenue or another, promoting shops through unboxings and through features and stuff. I love doing that for, you know, the small shop folks, and doing these shop spotlights. Like doing these for Summer with the Masters kind of reminded me why I fell in love with doing them in the first place. Is it feels like I'm giving back and like serving those shops, and giving them, you know, what little platform I have, but giving them the opportunity to, you know, be proud of the work that they've done, pat themselves on the back, and I'm here to yes and encourage that. But then, you know, I'm also giving time to like some of these larger shops with, you know, full marketing teams and warehouses across the globe, and you know, they're still small in the grand scheme of things. Like these aren't Walmarts and Targets, but when it comes to this craft, you know, I'm sure you can think of like some shops that come to mind that are just kind of the like really big players, if not the majority player, in this space. And so I don't know why, but I've just been having this internal struggle of like, those folks don't need your help, or they don't need you to unbox and spotlight their products. You know, they have that completely covered. You know, they have marketing teams, or a marketing team. They have brand reps. They have, you know, a group of sneak peekers that's kind of their whole gig. And so I've just started to feel like, of course, I want to share the stuff that I like with you all. That's the whole point of it, is to share things that jump out to me. And I'm sure, you know, viewers want to see that stuff too. But it's like that same amount of time that I spent unboxing and, you know, filming and unboxing and editing and getting that up and then sharing it on Instagram, I could have given that same energy towards a small shop that doesn't have those resources and might really rely on that, and every minute counts, you know. I don't know, it just kind of stems from like, I don't want to see the shops that I love like struggle, and I have a fixed amount of time and a fixed amount of interest, so why wouldn't I devote that to the folks that don't have, you know, the means to pay for that kind of stuff. I don't know where I'm going with this, but essentially it's just like, maybe I should, you know, kind of reassess what kind of unboxings I do, or where, you know, where I unbox from. Like, I'll always shop where I want to shop. I'll spend my money where I want to spend my money, but for certain companies, maybe the interaction for me stops at paying for the product. That is the exchange that we've agreed upon, no more, no less. And I will work on that kit. I'll talk about it here and there. But when it comes to the unboxings of it all and the spotlights of it all, you know, like I said, maybe it's better served if I turn my focus to Distracted by Diamonds instead, or Jaded Gem Shop instead, or Diamond Painting Shop instead. I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about. I have no plans on changing anything anytime soon. My stash dictates that I want to unbox the stuff that I have, so it's not like I'm gonna be like, all right, you'll never see Diamond Art Club on my site, on my channel again. It's just something I've been thinking about of like, and I also take a lot of value and self-worth out of knowing that that person or that shop really appreciates that time. And I think that's another thing that I was reminded of doing these shop spotlights is like, it's very meaningful for these small shops to have that kind of exposure and an online presence and get a little bit of a platform, however small. It's really meaningful for them, and I can feel that in my conversations with them, like that it's hopefully gonna help, you know? And why wouldn't I turn my focus more towards that? And knowing that, you know, the Diamond Art Clubs of the world, or Diamond Art Club's gonna be just fine if I don't unbox that kit that I bought, you know? Or spend, you know, 30 minutes discussing adjustments and stuff like that, or telling people how amazing it is. Like, we all know. I don't know. I think another reason a lot of content creators highlight a lot of, not only because, mainly, I don't know, I'm tripping over my words because I'm trying to cover my butt, but a Diamond Art Club videos content tends to garner a little bit more traction when you look at, like, when I look at my unboxings. It's kind of leveled out. There's some other brands that are definitely popular, but I see historically Diamond Art Club is kind of what people come to see. That's changing. The market's changing just with some other shops kind of disrupting things. But that's usually been the trend, is like, you put a lot of Diamond Art Club on your channel, you're gonna get a lot more people because it's just what people search for. I think it's also become kind of a ubiquitous term, like Kleenex or Xerox. It's like, oh, I'm getting a diamond painting from Diamond Art Club. Like, it, even though it's just associated so well with the craft. I think Diamond Dots is another one. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, nothing's gonna change on the channel, I don't think. At least not for a long time, because I've got so many kits that are still in their packaging that I will unbox. But I'm just trying to think of, like, I don't know. Oh, the moral of the story for talking about, like, Diamond Art Club getting used a lot in videos, I think there is this misconception, or maybe it is true, that, you know, you'll get more subscribers or more views if you're doing the really popular stuff, because that's what people are looking for. Therefore, you might get monetized, or you'll get monetized more because, you know, people are watching your stuff because you're focusing on, like, popular things or like big brands. At least that's kind of the vibe I got when I first started, is like, if you start a channel, you got to start talking about Diamond Art Club, you know? And I don't feel that way. I don't know if my numbers would reflect that being the truth, but it's just not, it's not my weather vane, or like what, it's not my compass for what the direction I want to take the channel is, like what will drive that stuff. I think my compass is like personal interest. What I'm doing in life is what I'll be sharing, and lifting up those shops that are really going to not only need that exposure and need whatever little bump I can provide in their visibility, but I'm connected with, or not, to a certain extent, you know, to one level or another. But are grateful, and I can see that. Like, that's the connection that I would love to have. And I think that some of those bigger shops have that covered. They have a team that's working on that. Not to say that they are ungrateful for all the people that unbox their stuff, but it's like, it's a drop in a really huge bucket, you know? And it's like, where can I make a bigger impact? So yeah. Hi. So that's kind of where I'm at. It also, a lot of that stems from, I've just been slowing down on purchasing stuff a lot. I'm no longer trying to amass a gigantic stash or buy everything that jumps out to me. I'm kind of slowing down on that, and so I think this also stems from like a little bit of guilt of not putting more money into these same shops. And so it's like, how else can I feel like I'm contributing if it's not monetarily? And maybe that is the biggest thing. Maybe a lot of small shops would be like, no, just keep buying. Like, you don't need to show our kits or our products. Just keep shopping. That's what we need from you. But it's become impractical. I don't know if the fog has cleared or I'm over the honeymoon phase, but now when I look at, even after my D-stash, when I look at my like 65 some odd kits, it feels a little burdensome. Like, how am I ever going to get all these done? I'll probably move from this apartment and probably another one in the time that it takes to get all this done. And it's just like, it just starts to feel a little bit like baggage. Even though I love the craft, it's like, why did I not pace myself? Like, why did I not just do one at a time? Especially now that, you know, the majority of what I want to purchase from is Jaded Gem Shop. It's like, those images, for the most part, will always be there. And if they're not, I can always ask Jade to like do some sort of custom or see if I can do like a one-off licensing. But the majority of what I buy is old masters. So it's just like, oh, what did I do? And that's not to say that other people are wrong for having a stash. Like, right now, it's just, that's not where my obsessive collecting spirit is right now. It's kind of shifting back to skincare. I'm trying to tamp that down in life because I'd like to start saving for a house. But it's just, I'm starting to lose that I guess, I no longer feel like I have a justification for overbuying. And so now, okay, sorry about that, battery died. But yeah, just, you know, creating, that's what I wanted to say. Okay. Yeah, even if I'm like able to create excitement around a kid or a new to you shop, or, you know, a small shop that's not as ubiquitous, and, you know, get people excited enough to go check it out, like, that's really all it is about. It's about exposure. Like, I'm not looking to sell anyone on anything. It's just sharing my excitement about stuff. But once again, on the flip side, it's like, where can I make the most impact with that? And maybe that's the wrong way to think about it, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Like, I hear a lot of shops, especially during the summer, is just a rough time for a lot of small shops. Things tend to slow down. And my immediate, like, the first thing I think of is like, how can I help? How can I help fix this? So yeah, I don't know. And that also plays in with like the product quality and experience and stuff too, is like, I may not have the best experience with one of those small shops that fall into that bucket. So where does that leave me? So yeah, it's just a lot of stuff that I've been throwing around. Like I said, no changes, just because I have what I have, and I intend on sharing what I have regardless at this stage. But it's just some things like, how can I be a more competent consumer, competent content creator, more intentional with, with what I'm sharing, and how do I support this craft on a more like macro scale, like on a larger scale, aside from just like, oh crap, let me just grab something from my stash to unbox real quick. All right, 3 Diamond Art Club kits back to back to back. It's like I've just spent 3 weeks talking about the same company that everybody knows about, that probably doesn't know who I am, probably doesn't take any value from me sharing their stuff, So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, once again, maybe that's the wrong way of thinking of it. But yeah, I've been tossing around a lot of, just thoughts about that. A lot of thoughts about, to bring up a topic that I do wish would eventually we just come to a resolution on. But just thinking a lot about AI too. A lot of this stems from the Screen Actors Guild strike that started, I think that was over the weekend. Just kind of thinking about a lot of that stuff too. And like, how do I reconcile wanting to support artists that I know in my heart utilize the technology and tools at their disposal in a responsible and not greedy way, but also, regulate it so it's not being abused by others. Like, we've got to find some sort of middle ground, and abuse in terms of either via artwork or to replace working people to a certain extent. So it's just such a complicated subject. So I've been thinking a lot about that, and like, where I think things should go, and making sure that I'm not like being reckless in like standing on one side or another, So yeah, for now, nothing's changing. I still love my artists that utilize a myriad of tools, including AI assistants, because I trust and I know that they're not using it in kind of that blanket, abusive, greedy, means that I think some people would like to use it in or currently are. So I don't know. It's just weird. There's a lot of things that have been popping up of like, I want to make sure that I'm operating ethically and with good intentions in mind for the shops and artists and people that I talk about and highlight and support. And I'm not just being reckless. So that's weird, huh? I don't know if a lot of content creators go that deep, but that's where my head's at. So then I'm like, forget it. Let's just record a hike. So that won't piss anybody off. Or that won't send me down this rabbit hole of like introspective thought. But then yet here we are. I'm like talking it through with you guys. Oh geez, maybe I should just ride roller coasters all day. Come on. I don't know what that is, but you don't need it. So yeah, that's just some thoughts, some feelings about content creation. I'm just a little diamond painting channel. I think probably at the end of this month, when Summer with the Masters is over, I will be changing my header to something else that doesn't say just a diamond painting channel. It'll say something else, because we're really morphing into just Anthony Does Things channel. I'll keep single and placing, that won't change. But yeah, I don't want to false advertise, because it's rare that you'll see me at the diamond painting table. Probably not until it cools off a little bit. And you'll see a lot more of lifestyle things like skincare, outdoors, and probably a little bit of some road trip and travel coming up. So it's gonna start changing, and maybe that'll help to attract some folks that maybe see a diamond painting channel and they're like, nah. But they searched cross-country skiing and one of my videos randomly came up. So, you know, just casting a wider net, you know, welcoming some more folks into the discussion and group. And I may be doing a video over on my old skincare channel, just telling all those folks that were following me there, which wasn't very many. But just saying, hey, if you're still sub to me, you know, all 500 or whatever of you that are still sub to me, you know, I'm still here, still doing skincare stuff, but I've kind of transitioned to more of a lifestyle channel that includes some crafting and, you know, outdoor stuff. So if that sounds like it's of interest to you, head on over to Single and Placing. So I might do that just to kind of merge the two officially, because I've been toying with the idea of kicking off that channel again. But just the thought of splitting my time even more from what I have right now to, you know, the bandwidth that I have right now, it's just a non-starter for me. I'll think of it and then I'm like, nope, stick with the folks you got, stick with the ones that got you here, the ones you love. So yeah, and I have been, it's also been a little bit of a worry of mine too, because another thing that I've heard, a lot of like larger diamond painting YouTube content creators, they'll do like, what's your advice for a content creator? And I've heard a couple different times of like, stay in your lane. People don't like it when you start splitting off and taking all these avenues into even other crafts. Like, don't go into cross stitching, don't go into quilting or any of that stuff. Like, people want what they want and it's very niche, so stick with it and stick with that and don't stray from that. And I really feel that I've kind of, in my own head, kind of proved that wrong to myself. I feel like my channel's only continued to reach more folks, you know, incrementally, as I've kind of let people into just what goes on with my life and like kind of what happens every day, what makes me tick. And so I'm hoping that that's the driving force and I can keep exploring that, because it makes me feel very, very fulfilled to know that so many awesome folks are willing to put up with all this and seem to like to listen along. It's very, very humbling, and it just makes me excited every time I turn on the camera. And I find that I thrive a lot more in these free-form chats than like set, we're covering this one thing. I don't know, I feel like I've been getting more stressed around that kind of stuff. And like right now, we're done with this hike. I did exercise, so, you know, my serotonin levels are already higher. I'm excited because I'm excited talking about what's coming next. I'm excited because I get to share with so many people and connect with folks. So by the time I'm done with one of these like hour and 40-minute walks, I'm like hyped up. I'm ready to go. I was like, what? It feels really good. So I appreciate everyone coming along, and I hope you feel the same way. I hope you take some value or some happiness and joy out of coming along on these hikes too. So, all right, well, we're back at the car. We did 4.17 miles. We burned about 670 calories, and that's that. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of this content. Otherwise, happy placing. We'll see you next time. Say bye. Okay, bye. Oh, goober. All right, bye. Little baby butt, fluffiest little butt in the world. It might not be the biggest butt, but it certainly is the fluffiest.